Now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For today's session, we're gonna focus on note taking. Now, note taking is a practice of writing down notes in a systematic way. Now, for this session, we have a passage that we're gonna go through so that we take notes down for our own better understanding of the passage we'll be reading. Now let me quickly go to the passage we should read. I'm going to try and read it as fast as I can, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because of time. Now remember, when you take notes down, you take them for your own understanding, meaning it will be written in your own format of which you've understood whatever you'll be reading, or you've only took the information you feel is important, meaning what might be important to you might not be important to me, depending on what we're seeking for as we read whatever we'll be reading. Now, the title of this passage is Tsotsital by Khomolemo Mukai. Let me go through it. I'll end wherever it fits so that I explain further. After South Africa's first multiracial elections were held on April 27, 1994, the different political parties opted to have 11 official languages. These are English and Afrikaans, as well as 9 indigenous African languages, including isiZulu, Setswana, and Tshivenda. But there is a 12th unofficial language, which is widely used in South Africa, Tsotsital. Tal is from Afrikaans and means language. Tsotsi started off meaning a thug, hoodlum, or criminal, but it has come to mean street smart or hip. Therefore, the use of Tsotsital has come to be something that distinguishes supposedly with it township inhabitants from their cousins in the county. It is difficult to say exactly when Tsotsital appeared on South Africa's linguist map, but the famous anti-apartheid activist Father Trevor Huddleston talks about it in his book Not for Your Comfort, written after he forced to leave South Africa and abandon his mission work in Johannesburg, now demolished Sophiatown, in the 1960s. Now from the passage here, it starts by giving us a bit of a background of Tsotsital. As we go down there, it gives us a bit of examples of how we use the language, where other words of them were derived from other languages. As we go down, how other industries or official companies took the words of the language, and then from here it gives us further example of the language. Now, like I was telling other students during our sessions, I was saying that now the language, especially Tsotsital, it evolves with time. Now from this example, like Majent, Tsotsis, or with it, township boys who live by their wheat, stealing cars, jewelry, etc. By then, they were seen as guys who steal cars and jewelries and whatnot. But now, when you say Majent is just the name of saying guys, but it's a Tsotsital. You can see from the second bulletin it says, to tsafenda, to stab someone with a knife. This expression came into being after Dimitri Tsafendas, a cook in the South African parliament, stabbed Prime Minister H.F. Verwoerd to death with a knife in 1966. Now the word became famous because of a certain incident, but now it's not popular because it happened in a certain generation of which it does not exist in the current now. And it furthermore explains further all of those. Now, from here, it's a bit of an activity of trying to explain or of trying to search our understanding of what was the passage saying to us. Language work. Now here they say you should circle the word closest in the meaning, underline words as used in the article Tsotsital. Now, Roman figure 1, language, paragraph 2. The system of human expression using words. A. B. A particular system of words used by a nation or people. A particular style or manner or expression. Now remember, the correct answer here for Roman figure 1 is a particular system of words used by a nation or people. It's a system of words because it's used by different kind of people. One might be confused and say a particular style or manner of expression because it's a language, meaning you still express. But because it uses words, especially taken from other languages and used by a nation, because the Tsotita language is used nationwide, especially in South Africa, it will only depend where in South Africa are you and what will dominate, because it's a mixture of Afrikaans, English, Zulu, Xhosa, and what's not. But remember, during apartheid, black people were segregated according to their tribes. Now, if you are in KZN, obviously Tsotita will be dominated mostly by the Zulu language. If you are in Eastern Cape, it will be dominated by Xhosa, but it will still be Tsotita, the domination of the language there, because the people of that place or area, they speak Xhosa. It will be dominated by Xhosa. And then it goes, here it's just a bit of abandon. They want to check your understanding of the words, to give something up without finishing it. It was a bit of a search of whether you understand the passage and all that. But now, what's important is this second activity, to check whether you've noted down whatever you did. If you were to go about taking notes now for your own understanding, the table's not, it does not supposed to be the way this is, the way that this one is. You can all just say Tsotita, make a table and just write use, and then say where does the language use it. They use it widely used. It is widely used in South Africa. It's an unofficial language. And then B, where does it derive? Where does the title, the name of the language derived from? Thug, hoodlum. Now remember, now for these two segments, for these two columns, you just explaining the title of the passage. From the third column, you explain its development. When you do not understand, like it's written, it's difficult to say exactly when it appeared. Probably when more and more blacks become urbanized. Because from the passage, some said from the book, some said when people come urbanized. You understand me? It will go with your understanding. Now for your own understanding, you give yourself examples of Tsotsi terms that you took from the passage, Magent to Tafenda, Rolon, and so. And here, just explain the use of those words. Eta, it's English, ta, Afrikaans, who's it? So that you see how does it use its words. And like from the passage, I've highlighted there were logical connectors there as well, but, therefore, and for instance, of which we'll emphasize more when we do specifically linking words and logical connectors. Now for the last passage, you're gonna write down just your own example, of Tsotita. What you're gonna do, if you know a word, like for example, on my side I will say stoko. It's a Tsotita word meaning chicks, a lot of girls maybe together where you have to choose. It's derived from the English language of stock, supermarket stock, or it's not. So you take from there, you write it here, so on, and then you're done. you've taken your notes for your own understanding. But to remember, guys, like I said, the table, it's not supposed to be exactly as this one. But just make sure that the table you're using, it is good for your own understanding, for you only to understand it. Thank you, guys. Hope this video will be effective for your understanding. Until we meet again.